Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You want to touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to now. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow LEONEANS, comrades all both home and the diaspora. Assalamu alaikum ya jamati wal muslimina wal muslimat. To be Christian brothers and sisters them, both home and the diaspora, shalom. وجعلنا من بين أيديه سدا ومن خلفه سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all both home and the diaspora, as you know, say, the encyclopedia media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to we people in Mama Salon on daily happenings and on burning issues. So una stay tuned, una stay fixed, una stay blessed, una stay connected to the encyclopedia media, for una listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. With civic education today, when on Wednesday, the 16th July 2025, is based on the scriptures, ladies and gentlemen. And waiting our topic today, now a man's worst enemy is a member of his own household. This they come up from Matthew 10 verse 36, when at the New International Version. We get Boku Yam Yam the inside the basket. So call your brother, call your sister, call your auntie, follow una couple sense and a couple word. For always, the encyclopedia media embark on civic education for continue for raise more awareness to we people in Mama Salon. So with civic education today, they come up from Matthew 10 verse 36, when at the New International Version, we say, a man's worst enemy is a member of his own household. Matthew 10 verse 36 in the King James Version, it states, say, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. This verse, they highlight the potential for division and the conflict within family system due to differing beliefs and allegiance system. Particularly when one group they choose for pursue justice and the other group they choose for pursue injustice, evil and unrighteousness. The other verses then, like the New International Version, in translates say, a man's enemies will be the members of his own household. This is not the danger, this is not the trouble, this is not the calamity where the APC leadership, where the APC members of parliament, the APC councillors, the APC mayors, the APC presidential candidates them, we want aspire for the 2028. Now the trouble this, now the dombolo this, now the yankata this, now the bunde this, where they want count with for the people of Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, this now also will find ourselves today as a political party, when the All People's Congress Party, where the infighting a very great instead of fighting the enemy they within, now we your household. The one that we elect as national officers of the party, for can protect the party, for take me to victory, that then today don't turn enemies against we, enemies against the people of Sierra Leone, and enemies against the voters, ladies and gentlemen, and enemies of we own hard and democracy na Mama Salone. Then turn the even the young flag bearer and presidential candidate. We win the June 24, 2023 presidential elections as an enemy. They prefer for sell the victory. They prefer for sell the lives and properties, for endanger the lives of Sierra Leonean citizens, for impoverish the citizens of Sierra Leone, for enslave the citizens of Sierra Leone, for exploit the citizens of Sierra Leone, for extort the people of Sierra Leone, rather than the young political party flag bearer, presidential candidate for let reclaim a stolen victory. Ladies and gentlemen, they prefer for let the victory go to a political opponent, when a murderous tyrant, when a dictator, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, now this we see today in the Republic of Sierra Leone. We leadership, we representative there. They say let them continue for enslave we, let them continue for impoverish we, let them continue for victimize we, let them continue for kill we, let them continue for confiscate we lands and properties them and give you a go ahead until 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of they rally round their own presidential candidate, their own flag bearer, where we get incontrovertible evidence say na in win the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections, ladies and gentlemen. Now make the Bible not a lie. They say a man's worst enemy is a member of his own household. Matthew 10 verse 36, the New International Version. Now that we see today. The people of Sierra Leone will risk their lives. They risk their property. Then kill them, fumble them. They send them, fumble them to exile. Their old son, then puts them in jail. 318. Only they able account for 15. The 330 day. They not account for them people in day. But the APC leadership say, law move ahead for 2028. And the June 24, 2023 slogan election, law will take her as a spill milk, according to the APC useless National Secretary General. Then people are not comply to the agreement for national unity. When are the 8 resolutions they wouldn't make? Then tell them people here say, let them free all political prisoners there. Today, with people in the language na jail. The SLP not do that. The APC leadership not get pogodo. What did they do? Then tell them people here say, let them throw out of course all politically motivated cases there. The SLP not do one self. They don't want no self today. Then cases then they. Then tell them say, the one they were internally displaced and the one they were forced na exile, let them go return and can as alone. SLP don't care. They not do one. The APC leadership not care. They don't want no nothing. All waiting and care now for 2028, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean communists all. So the verse, now a part of a large passage, when Matthew 10 verse 34 to 39, who said Jesus speak about the divisive nature of a message and the potential for conflict between families. This they emphasize, say, even with close family members then will become with enemies then, due to the demand of discipleship, due to the demand of political power. Today, the word electoral justice, it don't become a rocket launcher propelling machine gun to the APC leadership and then bootlickers of Agenda 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, today they turn the people of Sierra Leone as enemies, then turn the grassroots of Sierra Leone as enemies, then turn the voters of Sierra Leone as enemies because they stand for electoral justice and accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, so the 10 enemies of life, where mortal man get inside life. Number 1, na fear. Fear, they prevent you from seizing opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 enemy of life, na ignorance. Ignorance, they prevent you from a good decisions there. The number 3 enemy of life, na anger. Anger, they prevent you from seeing clearly to wetin belong to you. The number 4 enemy of life, na envy. Envy, they prevent you from focusing on yourself. The number 5 enemy of life, na ego. Ego, they prevent you for learn from others. The number 6 enemy of life, na doubt. Doubt, they prevent you for believe yourself and for take risk for follow your dreams. The number 7 enemy of life, na hate. Hate, they prevent you for become a better person. The number 8 enemy of life, na forgiveness. Forgiveness, they prevent you from living as a free person. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. The number 9 enemy of life, na lying. Lying, they prevent people then from trusting you. The number 10 enemy of life, na pride. Pride, they prevent you for see and learn from your mistake. Work on yourself. Change your mentality. Not allow your past for define your future. The agent of darkness people there oppose or they're very antagonistic to the epitome of light. So the 10 enemies of life, na fear, ignorance, anger, envy, ego, hate, doubt, unforgiveness, lying, and pride. These are the 10 enemies of life. Waiting are we inner enemy? We inner enemy, ladies and gentlemen, na karma. Karma na a desire or a lust. The number 2nd enemy na kroda, we na anger. The number 3rd na lobha, we na greed. The number 4 na mada, we na ego. The number 5 na moha, we na attachment. The number 6 na masardia, we na jealousy, and additionally alacia, we na laziness. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, both home and the diaspora. The inner enemies, now the emotions them, where they poison with soul, like anger, like hatred and fear, now they destroy we country today, now don't destroy we party today, now don't destroy we democracy today, now don't destroy the reckless and useless APC leadership today, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about the 4 hindrances, whether the wholesome state of hatred, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt, include all the unwholesome state of infatuation. The 3 proofs them, na documentary proof, na theoretical proof, and actual proof. So they don't prove beyond all reasonable doubt by the tripartite committee. Say the APC presidential candidate a poll 57.15%, waiting there again for judging the validity of a given teaching. So the 3 techniques, na induction, contradiction, and contrapositive. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. The 3 devils there and the obstacles there. We get number 1, the obstacle of earthly desire. Number 2, now the obstacle of karma. And number 3, now the obstacle of retribution. We got the 4 devils there. Winner number 1, now the hindrance of the 5 components. Number 2, now the hindrance of the earthly desire. Number 3, now the hindrance of death. And number 4, now the hindrance of the devil king. Ladies and gentlemen, today waiting at the happiness alone, now the work of the devil, now the work of the underground power, the APC leadership today. Then don't stuck there, now the underworld kingdom. The money where they don't receive, now underworld money. We don't make today, they don't become crazy. Now I make Prince Alex Adin say they know they have over power to mad people because they know say the money where the APC don't accept for bribe them for forgo the June 24, 2023 election for 2028, they made them become mad. Waiting a secret enemy. The secret enemy, now we in a voice where they define how we they orient ourselves to the world. The five obstacles then. Now the sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt. Waiting on the three things then, where the devil wants, ladies and gentlemen, for do. The three things the way the devil wants, now for steal, now for kill, and for destroy. Now they happen today. We they under the spell of the devil. When the devil don't capture the people of Sierra Leone. Worship, bad juju, bad sarah. Take dog, open him out, put somebody, close him out, tie him, dig the ground, put and cover and life. The whole mortal man. Bear and ground life, cover am. For no more, let them hold political power. Then they sacrifice virgins there, puts them in one hole, cover them all down there for let them maintain power. They take cow there, goat and sheep there, throw away them at the river. Then they take them fetish and they then juju their last mommy there. They put an Agoma Valley water for any Sierra Leonean. We drink that water there. Let the heart cool, let the heart come out. Pan the June 24, 2023 election. This is not the work of the devil. But the devil is a liar. The people of Sierra Leone still stand. And the June 24, 2023 stolen multi-tier election is still fresh in the minds of the Sierra Leonean people there. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So the three things the way the devil want for do, now for steal, now for kill, and for destroy. Now we see today in Salon. They don't thief everything. They don't kill we. And now they try for destroy the country, the entire nation. The seven things then, where God hates, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, now haughty eyes. Number two, now a lying tongue. Number three, now hands them where they kill innocent blood, where they shed innocent blood. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen. Number four, now a heart where they plot evil. Number five, now they fit them where they run for do wrong. The number six, now a false witness where they pour out lies. And the number seven, now somebody where they sow discord in a family. So the APC leadership, we MPs then, we representative then, and the so-called presidential candidates then for 2028, they don't sow a seed of discord inside the APC family. So the three enemies of the spiritual warfare, now the flesh, the word, and the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora. So a man's enemy will be the member of his own household. Matthew 10 verse 36, when at the New International Version. Proverbs 29 verse 24 tell we say, you are your own worst enemy. If you take part in a crime, you will not be able to tell the truth, even when people threaten you. Now this don't happen today. We APC leadership, the one day we want to be presidential candidate, we MPs then, they don't take part in a crime where they're not able to tell the people of Sierra Leone, the voters of Sierra Leone, the truth, even when they threaten them. Instead, waiting they propagate the Agenda 2028. Jesus Christ borrowed them words there from an Old Testament, from Prophet Micaiah 7 verse 6. He said, your enemies are right in your own household. This time Micaiah 7 verse 6. How to identify your enemies then? This the scripture tell we inside Proverbs 6 verse 12 to 14. Say, talk about your enemies there in this way. A troublemaker and a villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks maliciously with his eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, sighted, signal with his feet and motion with his fingers, who plots evil with deceit in his heart. He always stir up conflicts. When we define we enemy there in this way, fellow Sierra Leoneans, we don't expose a hidden agenda. The three powerful enemies then, ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners all over the globe. Number one, now the arrogant lay people. Number two, now the arrogant priest. Number three, now the arrogant false sages. We conspire with secular authorities for persecute the Sutra votaries. The three powerful enemies then, when are the common thread among them, na arrogance. They believe or say you better than other people there. According to Psalm 59 verse 1, now the scripture will they protect you from your enemies there. So anybody will want to read this scripture for protect you from your enemies there, now for always read Psalm 59. James 4 verse 7, therefore, subject yourself to God, but oppose the devil, and he will flee from you. Household enemies then. Now enemies then, from your own family, from your close friends, from your comrades then, and from your colleagues then. The book of Micaiah say, one's enemies are members of his own household. And the five enemies of human, wey we know as karma, lust, grace, and desire. Number one, na crowder, wey na anger and hatred. The number two enemy, na lobha, wey na greed, miserliness, and narrow-mindedness. The number three, na moha, wey na delusory and emotional attachment. The number four, na mata, wey na arrogance, pride, stubborn-mindedness. And the number five, na masaja, wey na envy, jealousy, a show of vanity. So the two enemies of a person, fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all, na prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Waiting at the dangers of household enemies. Household enemies, they're very stubborn. Now stubborn enemies, among the most dangerous adversary there in the world, because then they operate from within. These are the people there who know you closely, when are you close family, when are you friends then, when are you colleagues then, when are you comrades then, when are they in the same political party or trusted individuals. If you then want to become as enemy, then go be your worst enemy, fellow Sierra Leone, and they go be the most dangerous enemies there, because now the enemies within, the enemy inside your household. Where they back the enemy, where they come outside, back against you, for topple you. You know when they come out, you know when they enter, you know who side you there, you know your address. This is not the enemy within. We're more dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. The APC National Executive and then puppet social media bootlickers there, former President Nkrumah, and the misguided and unscrupulous bubusellers there, both home and the diaspora, with some former President Nkrumah in corrupt tips there and political appointees there. Now they don't find we Wusa with this so today. Then are the enemies of the people, then are the enemies of Sierra Leone, then are enemies of we had and democracy, then are the enemies of progress, and then are the enemies of we children, and with generation yet to come. Today the actions and inaction, they don't cause the death of thousands of innocent Sierra Leoneans then. Everything for being a them. Without them plan for destroy everything. But God go destroy them people they are, then picking them, then wife them, and then close family. Ladies and gentlemen, God go kill some of them people they are with blood pressure, with heart attack, with repression, by thunder, by fire, and by gruesome road accidents. Ladies and gentlemen, they and the beginning, no go ever know peace in the entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, God will turn against them for see their own downfall. Ladies and gentlemen, then go eat their flesh, drink their own blood as a wine. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean, destroy all the wealth them, destroy all the property them, where they don't loot, where they don't amass for themselves, for what they do to the people of Sierra Leone, due to the arrogant leadership. We listeners think you want to know what's in an arrogant leadership. Arrogant leadership is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy. They know they feel for people there, how people then they feel, and a disregard for the perspective and contribution of others. Then disregard the stance of the voters, the grassroots. Now waiting they want, now for P. Not to waiting the grassroots and the voters, we get the party, we now then get the APC party, plan for do, then plan no. Now waiting they want, now they want impose on the people there. So this type of leadership, it will be detrimental to a team or organization where they foster a toxic environment and they lead to poor decision making, ladies and gentlemen. So the characteristics of superiority complex. Arrogant leaders then believe say they're inherently better than others, and they act in a stupid and condescending manner, with a dismissive manner. They lack empathy. Then they struggle for understand or value the feelings and the opinions of the team members, where they lead to strained relationship and low morale. Resistant to feedback. Arrogant leaders then they often unwilling for accept criticism or suggestion, where they hinder the growth of the team and the progress of the team. Ladies and gentlemen, poor communication. Then they struggle for communicate effectively. Often, then they interrupt or taking over others or fail for listening to important information. Blaming others, arrogant leaders then tend for avoid for take responsibility for their own mistake, and instead, then they blame others for their own self-compromise failures, self-serving behavior. Then decision they're often driven by ego and desire for personal gain rather than the best interest of the team or the organization. Now they happen today, the Mama Salon, where we get arrogant leadership. The consequences of arrogant leadership, number one, it end up to toxic work environment. Number two, poor decision making. Number three, it reduce team performance. And number four, it increase turnover. And number five, it lead to erosion of trust. Like how the people of Sierra Leone, the voters of Sierra Leone, they don't lack trust today in this current APC leadership. And we MPs them, we represent we. Now the rubber stamp parliament of the pauper state looters political party and the Republic of Sierra Leone due to the toxic leadership. Toxic leadership is referred to a management style where characterized by abusive behavior, self-centeredness, and a lack for respect for subordinates and the grassroots. Short leadership, they lead to a demoralized workforce. Arrogance, and they offend the people and they offend God. God identify with young people that they want them, where they treat the young people them arrogantly, they incur in wrath. This is now Exodus 18 verse 11. So bad leaders then call them toxic leaders. Then they abuse the leader-follower relationship by leaving the group or organization in a worse condition where he originally been there. The 4 A's of leadership, number one, na awareness. The number two, na acknowledgement. Number three, na action. And number four, na accountability. But today we get a useless, a reckless, and unscrupulous leadership. We waiting them afraid na their life, na accountability. So leadership na a skill, where for be taught, where for be learned, and developed over time through training, practice, and repetition. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting they lead to arrogance. The root cause of arrogance, number one, na a sense of insecurity and superiority, bagbati, grandiosity. Number two, na low self-esteem or fear of competition. Anybody will get low self-esteem, go fear competition, go fear the truth, where they use by Ruki and Dabaru. Now arrogant leaders because then they afraid competition. And arrogance rooted in a sense of narcissism, and it exacerbates a lack, ladies and gentlemen, of self-awareness. We listeners and want know this big word there, what it mean? Narcissism. Narcissism, na excessive interest in or the admiration of oneself in physical appearance. In psychology, na selfishness, where they involve a sense of entitlement and a lack of empathy and a need for admiration, where characterize a personality type. In psychoanalysis, na self-centeredness, where they arise from failure, where they distinguish the self-external object. They behave foolishly like a young baby or as a feature of mental disorder. The cocaine evil money, where they don't bribe them people here, he don't entangle them. Now they behave manipulative underworld kingdom. The APC leadership, they not they in the normal sense, but under the Paupabio spell, fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen. So we now get leadership today. We not a servant leadership. We're not a good leadership, but now narcissistic we get with narcissistic leadership. Narcissistic personality disorder. Now in our executive them. Antisocial personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder. Where you tell them the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't wound then grandiose, then babati, then ego, then selfishness with then grandiose personality disorder. So the five enemies of human vis-a-vis the brainless leadership of the APC, Nakama lost grace and desire. Crowder winner anger and hatred. Lobby broke this for we people there. Waiting now, Crowder, we talk about anger and hatred. Saying that the worst enemy to human being. Anger, now a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility when they don't aid and abet for still election just because then they against people there and then they against them presidential candidates. They had to one with anger, ladies and gentlemen. So they stood against the people for their useless sell out. They became angry with the voters. They became angry with their own presidential candidates with a strong feeling of annoyance and displeasure. See, then they prefer for do the worst hostility rather than for let them flag bearer and presidential candidates become president. Ladies and gentlemen, all waiting they cause this now anger. The other thing again, fellow Sierra Leonean ladies and gentlemen, we crow that they try for tell we now hatred. This na intense dislike and hate where they get for person. When a deep emotional extreme dislike, when a disposition towards hostility, narrative hate, ideological hate, retributive hate, and a malicious hate for one great person. Instead, he become president. Let 8.5 million people then perish. Ladies and gentlemen, all this because of hatred. Ladies and gentlemen. So Crowder, now the personality traits of this current useless APC leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, with the anger and hatred we then get for one great people, one great person, one great individual, we na Crowder. We come to the number two, we na lobe ha. We talk about greed, we talk about miserliness, we talk about narrow-mindedness, fellow Leonians. So with the break and down, what till lobe ha mean? Because lobe ha stand for greed, miserliness, and narrow-mindedness. Greed, na intense and selfish desire for something, especially wealth, power, or food. Then they allow greed for overtake them policies there, the aims and objective of the ideology of the political party we they represent, all due to greed. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, miserliness, ladies and gentlemen, now the extreme meanness, the excessive desire for save money, for amass wealth for themselves, with them parsimonious stinginess, niggardly and penurious, sordid avariciousness, and a morbid pleasure in hoarding. We get what we call narrow-minded. Somebody or people them we're not willing for listen or tolerate them people them pure. Prejudice, resistance to correction and new ideas, a reluctance for consider alternative viewpoints them. The APC sell out leadership with low heart, with their greed, with their miserliness and narrow-mindedness. We get what we call moha. Moha stand for delusory emotional attachment. Waiting at delusory, now the unreal deceptive, causing one for belief say, fellow Sierra Leoneans, that person they not to true they pan, not to right they pan, and waiting all that they do, then believe say, then true, then they fail for believe the truth. They all they accept say, we win the election, no, but they say, Lord, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, they see the truth too, but they fail for accept the truth. This is not a delusory behavior. When a delusory pleasure, that's not the pleasure for them. For let's go then victory, because they're not to the presidential candidate. They will always stand for that. The hater with the emotional attachment, and they lack the feeling and closeness and affection for help sustain meaningful relationship over time. Then the number 4, namada. No wonder we will get president. When an illegitimate president, we need mother. So, mother, it means arrogance, pride, stubborn-mindedness. And exactly, these are the character traits of the Mende Southeast Shabro warlord, ladies and gentlemen. So, mother, it means arrogance. Waiting an arrogance, now inflicted sense of self-importance, lack of empathy, disregard for the perspective and contribution of others, bagbati, grandiosity, pomposity. They think say a more better than everybody else with inflated ego. Ladies and gentlemen, this then call her arrogance when a mother. Mother also stand for pride. Waiting a pride. Pride now for be very proud, conscious of one's own dignity and a self of personal wealth, excessive self-esteem, conceit, a feeling of honor and self-respected, and excessive love of somebody in your excellence and pride. Ladies and gentlemen. So what did the Bible say? They say so pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16 verse 18. And warn the 4 types of pride there. When a pride of spirituality, pride of knowledge, pride of power, and pride of appearance. The number 3, we na matter, na stubborn-mindedness. This na resistant to change, refuse for change their mind and decision, lack of compliance to waiting right, unscrupulous attitude for listening to advice, headstrong, recalcitrant, a rebellious behavior. And waiting the Bible says in 1 Samuel 15 verse 23, the New Living Translation, NIV, that rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft. Fellow Sierra Leoneans. Waiting this they try for tell we, when I 1 Samuel 15 verse 23, in the New Living Translation, it say waiting, rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worshiping idols. Ladies and gentlemen, now so the Holy Bible say stubborn, fool, they consider in your way the right one, but a person when they listen to advice, is wise. And so now both the stubborn leadership and the stubborn SLPP leadership, we don't gang up for gamble. We had and democracy na mama alone. But waiting they say a stubborn fly, they always follow the cops, they demand to the grave. So mother, it mean arrogance, pride, and stubborn-mindedness. Then we come to Masaja. Masaja na envy, jealousy, show, or vanity. Waiting na envy. When a Masaja. Now an emotion where they occur when somebody lack another person in quality, in skill, in achievement, in possession, and in popularity, because he no get time. If they envy that person there, if they hate that person there, if they jealous that person there, if they develop grudge against that person there. Now envy, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm a here, fellow Sierra Leoneans, this is the reason why both the SLPP and the APC corrupt leadership then gang up together against this one great man, because the envier say when this man here come, they can't change the unscrupulous and disastrous status quo in the country. Then Masaja they talk about jealousy, when a feeling of unhappiness and anger because somebody or something gets something where it takes where the other person not get, so they become jealous of that person there. Like we CEO 001, he say over in dead body for let Dr. Samora Kamara become president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Today, he not die, but he is dead but alive. Today, 001 is dead but alive. They say over in dead body for another power to His Excellency the President-elect Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean communists all, you don't go hand over power to Dr. Samora Kamara, but you go hand over power forcefully to democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, so as President Yahya Jammeh of Gambia and President Adama Barrow, so as former President Bio and His Excellency the President-elect Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Betembeng Joseph Wisdom Kamara. Ladies and gentlemen, so morbid jealousy, pathological jealousy, conjugal paranoia, and Othello syndrome, all entire a compounded in jealousy with Namasaja. Masaja also tell we about vanity, when the quality of being worthless and futile, vanity of human wishes, excessive pride for one own's appearance, quality, ability, achievement, character, or quality, or being vain and conceit, finding for no say, you now Mr. and Mrs. Dust, from the dust you add, and unto the dust you shall return. So the 2028 campaign agenda message for the SLPP, we then get for the people of Sierra Leone and for the whole world, now violence, now killing, now looting, now burning of houses, now crushing people, now extrajudicial killings, now thuggery, now banditry, now for unleashed mayhem, atrocity, terror, fear. And they don't put all things there in place. Then Kamajo, then Bolate, strategies, ladies and gentlemen. Now, not to fortify election again, now for take the election for usurp political power by force come 2028. They don't train thousands of them Kamajos there, thousands of pauper police there, thousands of pauper soldiers there, thousands of foreign guards there. That in Southeast stronghold go be a no-go area for the APC. Ladies and gentlemen, and they go force everybody within city through the barrels of the gun for openly vote for the SLPP. The Northwest go be the target, where go be clustered by the newly trained pauper security apparatus, the military police, where they set up. Ladies and gentlemen, then go dinner all them police stations there. Then the hold guns there as if Sierra Leone they into war. The voters they not go get the gut for going to polling station for go vote. They at the end of the day, then take all the ballot, then stuff them for themselves. This how them plan for the 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't secure the funds there. Then we don't put a special election basket fund The 2028 election, now then solely they fund 100%. They don't need no money from the international community. They don't give no accreditation to international elections observers. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, the meeting it just ended up. Then they say na Kenema. Parantrawali de Minde, Lael Lawrence Lima Binde, CSO Mambu Binde, a CSO we plan say in a civil society. Today, they say let them vote for him for the SLPP National PRO, National Publicity Secretary. Chief Kailuru Kaikai, we say if they not give power, it count war, na salon. Now they all been there that meeting day. Ibrahim Brahma Suare and the former Kamajo chief, we now na the PPRC chairman, we na Emmanuel Kwe via Amara. Ladies and gentlemen, we Lance Dumbuya, the parrot with his belly buccal cavity, saying they win the 2028 elections. We don't even get tick there in though. Fellow citizens, electoral justice, that the only way out. This time don't choke them. This na in only way will pull them power. But if you then want left sit down, then people here go away with the stolen election of 2023. APC is finished. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and communists all, any bad where this political party talk, if they say they kill, they say they do bad, not they spoil and then they execute them. Now only one thing the entire part, where they say then they do good, they're not able to do good because they don't use for do bad. So they agenda 2028, some of who stand for electoral justice. We know say electoral justice they win. But if we development partners then careless, we leadership careless, that man they go scot-free. Some of who will account we out for agenda 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, now the only bone and truth we were able to destroy all them bad plan there, now electoral justice. Ladies and gentlemen. But when we let the wire cross this bridge here with impunity, the APC is finished. Now the eyes then don't red pan the Solima oil for camp plunder, the Solima oil for fortify them political party. And them and the all this party here, not to lie with Prince Adi Minitoko, for let them rule over 50 years. So agenda 2028 victory, where we leadership then they talk about, say that they win 2028, not to win the election, they mean no. Now for let them go ahead with conventions then don't done with the ward executive, CANT constituency, go to district, go to region, go to national delegate conference, eliminate Dr. Samura Kamara from the flag bearer, then get a new flag bearer for them done at a victory. But not for win election, no. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and comrades all, both home and the diaspora. So this not the fight where the APC leadership they fight, but then say where you sell your brother, even you buyer no go ever trust you. While the SLPP agenda for 2028 election now operation take it by force, by threat, by bagbati, by the bullet, by political manipulation, by all cost, ladies and gentlemen, because the SLPP they know what they don't do, the killing, the massacre, the extrajudicial killing, where they don't do, the cocaine trafficking, the drug trafficking, the ammunition trafficking, they host a cocaine lord, Nasa alone. All them crimes and he hang pande, if they let go the power, they no say, then go handle them by the international community. So by now they don't care. Waiting for B, now for B. The only way we will break the camel in back na electoral justice. And some of we stand for electoral justice. So, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, God guide and protect His Excellency the President-elect Dr. Samura Mathieu Kamara. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, je vous remercie beaucoup de mes écouter, c'est-à-dire ce que Dieu ne peut pas faire, n'existe pas. Vivre à la République de la Sierra Leone. Vivre à le parti de l'action de progrès et de committement dans la République de la Sierra Leone. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, je vous présente l'historienne